if you want to advocate for animal rights, you shouldn't advocate for only the cow in the farm. You should also advocate for the small ones under the earth where the avocado of the vegan people are produced.
So, I'm going to ask you 5 would you rather questions.
Yes.
Midway, you're going to realize what the topic is, and maybe we can spark a bit of a conversation, okay?
Okay.
I can ask you both, right? That's
Yeah, you should do it both.
No.
She has very nice opinions. I'd like to know myself.
No.
perfect. I want more opinions.
No. I'm not so good in English as he
It
is.
has nothing to do with English.
Oh, yes, it has.
Okay, so would you rather be a cat or a dog?
Dog.
A dog.
Yeah. Very
No?
Cat.
Cat, okay. Nice, love it. Would you rather be able to talk to animals temporarily or temporarily take one of their enhanced senses or capabilities?
Temporarily take one of their enhanced capabilities.
Can I ask why?
For example, dogs can smell much better. It has shown in some sort of research and conditions that they're able to smell things like even cancer, which I think is useful.
Oh, so you would like to, but it's temporary. But yeah,
Yeah, only temporary basis, of
yeah,
course.
nice. What would you do? Can I ask? Would you?
For example, I will use it to help people. If I could smell someone's, there's a thing with a cat or a dog smelling someone's or sensing someone's ability who's about to fall into seizure and something like that. It's useful to help others with that.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
of course, on a temporary basis. I think
Love. So you would want to help other people. That's
something
why.
on that lines, yes.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Okay. Would you rather have the intelligence of a dog or that of a pig?
Pigs are intelligent. I think it's a trick question.
Yeah, it is a trick question. Yeah. Yeah. So which one?
I would go for
Oh,
pig.
I already answered.
Ah, pig. Yeah. Pigs are very intelligent. You know, in sanctuaries, they do this one thing where they go pick flowers, and they bring them back to where they sit, where their home is, and in order to decorate their home, basically with the flowers, which is.
Did you know that I have a big long orgasm?
Oh, I also know that, and they also are amongst the few animals that have sex for pleasure.
Yes.
Not a lot
Yes,
of them.
I think they and us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is a bit of a harder one. Would you rather be a well-fed farm animal whose life is cut severely short whenever the farmer says you're no longer worthy, or a wild animal who's mostly starving but you get to live your life free for as much as you can?
Definitely a wild animal, but I now see that this is about animal rights and protection.
Yeah, exactly.
So yes, I will go for a wild animal.
Can I ask why?
Of course, I have the freedom and to eat whatever I want to eat, but there you also deal with being in the jungle, so you could be eating
Yeah.
or eat someone.
Yeah, but my question was the reason why I posed this question was to see whether people value freedom more over like sustenance.
I mean, in a way, it is like freedom, but the sustainability in your question is probably problematic in a way because it has to encompass all the animals, regardless of which one it is. Right. So this is what I'll say on that.
My final question
Yeah.
is: in today's world, if you could be a farm animal, which farm animal would you be? A cow for dairy, a cow for meat, a chicken, or a pig?
Cow for dairy, I have more uses,
Yeah.
but
Do you know what they go through?
yes, I do.
Can you explain in a layman's term? Like
Layman's
yeah,
term?
I know. Can you just explain? I want to be sure that you would
Yes,
know.
they live in very confined areas for probably all their lives.
Yeah.
Most of them are not exposed to any sunlight or anything. When they have no uses, of course, they are slaughtered
Yeah.
onto my plate. And sometimes I don't even eat all of them, and I throw part of it into the trash, right? But
What do you think happens to the babies?
the baby cows,
Yeah, because why do you think cows produce milk?
come again?
Why do you think cows produce milk?
For the cows, yes.
Yeah. And what do you think happens to the babies?
They are turned into meat, or
Yeah.
probably fed something else.
Yeah, if they're boys, they're slaughtered. If they're girls, they get put into the cycle all year over year. And after 6 to 8 years, depends on the farm, depends on the breed, they also go to the slaughterhouse because they can no longer stand on their own
Yeah.
4 feet.
Yeah.
But cows can live up to 20 years, so it's they don't live even half their life. So I assume you know why you realize it's about animal rights. I'm trying to raise awareness on behalf of our animals. Do you consume animal products?
Yes, I do. But see, I would interject here and say this. If you want to advocate for animal rights, you shouldn't advocate for only the cow in the farm. You should also advocate for the small ones under the earth where the avocado of the vegan people are produced. We cannot eliminate, the life of one is not worth more than the other. A worm under the ground does not have a much better life or a much worth life than the cow in the farm.
Okay.
For me, if the argument is on this level, then I think we are having a better discussion.
Okay,
We
that's
cannot-
good. That's good. Good.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
but let me tell you, if you think, because I want to curb this argument
Yeah.
straight ahead. So, if you knew that actually way more land is used to grow a cow, that means obviously way more animals, land animals, like as you say, worms or all of this, would be hurt in the production of a cow,
Yeah.
in the production of meat.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that then eating meat anyway harms way more of these crop?
No.
Well, that's science. I'm not.
No, I'm also based my argument on science.
Which science says that then?
I see the same science that yours uses. See, the Amazon, I'll even go further, is cut down to grow soya beans
For cows.
for cows. Yes. Nobody has calculated, in your opinion, for example, the ecosystem of where the Amazon is, the animals on the ground. Nobody asks what happens to them.
There is an estimation, though.
Yes, but we are talking about the cows. What I'm saying is, it's not that we shouldn't talk about the cows. We should not either ignore the ones whose ecosystem was disturbed when the soybean was grown.
But more crops, so soy, soy and corn.
Are you saying those ones doesn't matter at all?
No, I'm saying that if you care about those, then you should anyway be vegan because more of the soy and the corn is grown for the animals.
If I'm being vegan, then I'm trying to say that the ones down there doesn't matter because my avocados, when I'm vegan, come from most parts of Latin America. Nobody knows what the conditions of those avocados are gone. For example, some of those avocados are owned by and controlled by cartels. That's one. Number two, to disturb the ground to grow those avocados is equal to killing a cow, in my opinion, because I try to put them on equal level.
Okay.
I am with you.
So to you, killing a dog and stepping on an ant accidentally is the same. Me killing a dog intentionally and stepping on an ant accidentally is the same.
No, accidentally, you said.
Do you think in crop deaths, farmer intentionally go to kill the animals from the crops, or do you think they accidentally do it?
Raising the cow and killing it is equal to killing a small animal in the Amazon forest where the soya bean is made. This is what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying. Okay, I understand your point of view. So you're saying life is life. Okay, that's what you're saying. So that okay. But if I told you, that
advocate for the smaller ones on the
okay, but if I told you that being vegan actually reduces the number of deaths, including the ones that you are defending, because there's a lot of.
I will give you that because I don't know the statistics and the science on it yet.
Okay.
But only because I don't know. If I knew, I would.
Okay, but if you look into it and you would find out that that is the truth, would that convince you to be vegan?
Probably not.
Okay, so that's not the thing holding you back to be vegan. That was just the thing trying to say that I am a hypocrite and that I don't actually care about lives. But I do. But imagine me sitting here and defending worms when cows are being killed for meat. It's impossible, right?
Me then you are saying we should try to advocate for all of them.
I'm saying, oh yeah, obviously, yeah. Yeah, but how can I advocate for small animal rights when big animals are killed and nobody cares?
Yes, the reason why I said probably not is because if I'm vegan, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm advocating for the right of the others.
Well, if you're not, you're vegan.
I said I don't necessarily have the source of your data.
That's okay. I can give you sources for that, or you can look it up yourself.
Right.
But even in the Netherlands, it's in the Netherlands, cows are fed 25% soy and corn. If you calculate how much a cow eats, you will calculate that the amount of soy and corn could be used to feed way more humans than what the cow would provide.
See this: if we spray the dung of animals which we have captured from the farms, which is already not good, and some of them are very warm, and they are sprayed onto the farm just to enrich the soil to grow corn or something else. These heated dung kills also some of the animals underneath there.
Obviously, yeah.
So if I'm gonna be vegan and eat only mice, indirectly I've killed somebody down there.
So I think existence in itself anyway means we are going to be detrimental to some life on this planet, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we should intentionally kill any other, because by that justification we could say, anyway, I'm going to kill somebody, so I might as well kill somebody on the street.
And I spray that onto the earth, I'm intentionally doing it.
Yeah, but you're not doing it with the intention of killing the animal. You're doing it with the intention of protecting the crops.
Definitely the same. It's definitely the same. It's not even put there to protect my crops. It is put there to enrich the crop. So it is the same.
Okay.
For example,
but let's move on, as I said, because crops.
You want to skip to the part you want to discuss.
I don't want. It's clear. Like, listen, I'm agreeing with you. Let's say you are right about this, okay? But then again, the number of animals, the number of crops are mostly grown from animals.
If it is reduced, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I said probably not.
So being vegan would reduce it.
That's why I said probably not. If I have your statistics and your data source and I'm okay with it, then probably
But let's
we're having a different conversation.
going forward, let's have the conversation based on the fact that the number of crops are mostly grown for animals, which is a fact. You don't have to trust me on this. You can look it up afterwards. But let's have a conversation
Right.
with this in mind, okay? So if with this in mind, what is holding you from being vegan?
Oh, then you're asking me the same thing again because I already answered. And you want me to say, okay, I accept your data source, right? As I stand here now, I cannot really accept that. The answer will obviously nothing, right? But I don't think that saving Peter to killing Peter to save Paul is a really good alternative for us to walk.
Okay,
Yeah.
so as far as I understand, if you were to look now online and find out that there's more crops and more animals dying for meat, you would turn vegan.
It still be probably not. It's not that I'm trying.
Why not? That's what I'm trying to find out why.
The thing is, we always have to be careful of the numbers. Also, sometimes the numbers are skewed.
Let's say the numbers are way bigger for meat than for
on a hypothetical level.
yeah. Let's go it as a hypothetical.
Yes, now I'll be convinced too.
Then you would be convinced to be vegan. Okay, so if you so then let me ask you this: do you think you have the responsibility to go right now and find out whether that number is as you say or as I say?
I do.
Okay.
I do, of course.
Okay.
See, as you can see, I'm a little bit interested in this topic, so I have given you some
Okay.
something.
Okay.
To show.
I don't want to agree or disagree, right? Because we don't have sources on these things.
Yes.
Like I have sources, you have some sources, but the reality is like the biggest governmental agencies. You know what what's it called, the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change. So they did a lot of studies. There's a lot of studies showing that meat production actually accounts for the most land use.
Yes,
Right.
I would agree on that.
Yeah.
I've seen something on that.
Because if you take into consideration also the crops grown for animals, the animals themselves where they're sitting, then it's a lot more land. So if there's a lot more land used for those animals, obviously there will be a lot more of these wild critters being killed because there's way more land being used, right? Because if you think all of these crop deaths, as you name them, they're number of crops per hectare, let's say. So if more hectares are being used to produce meat, then obviously there will be more deaths for meat than this itself. But okay, I don't wanna. Okay, I love this. Okay, so I wish I could hold you up on this, that you're gonna look into it and then maybe
you can definitely guarantee on that. I will have a look at it.
you will have a look at it. Okay.
If it comes down to environmental protection, we should also have a critical look at how we think of protecting the environment. Most of our ways right now are clearly scientifically not the best ways. For example, using electric cars. Food and the production of food contributes way highly into the destruction of the environment, more than even driving a car.
Yeah, more than cars, all transportation
Yes.
combined. Yeah.
You see, I am for that. We have to restructure the question. We have to restructure the outlook of how we protect it. Not necessarily because this does more damage than the other. We probably don't even know. She's a biologist. She'll tell you that killing most of those animals down there is probably way negative to the environment than not eating cows.
Completely agree. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm vegan also, because I know there's a lot more deaths, crop deaths for non-vegans.
Yes, but purely saying you're vegan because a cow somewhere is to me not the idealist of ways, because you cannot say whenever there's a meal in front of you an animal didn't die for it. Can you say that?
That in my for my food,
if you walk into,
not intentionally. I can say that no animal was intentionally
I would
harmed.
argue that intentional is not the right word. You could say that maybe less are killed, then I'll give you that. But intentionally, I won't give you that.
Obviously, there is some harm. Okay, obviously there is some harm. I'm not going to say that, but you can't say, because I obviously don't know the exact. So as far as
See,
let me tell you this.
Look it up after this conversation.
Yeah, look it up. So as far as I know, the numbers of crop deaths worldwide is in the 7 to 8 billion, and this is on the higher end. Do you know how many animals are slaughtered per year?
No, I wouldn't know that.
80 billion, 80. So it's tenfold more. And this doesn't include marine life. If you include marine life, it's in the trillions.
Yes.
So it's obviously a lot more animals are being killed for the production of food, clothing, and cosmetics and all
Yes.
this, right?
Yeah.
And besides, regardless of all of this, I oppose the commodification of animals. I oppose the idea that a sentient being, like a cow, a pig, that they should be commodified. Like if I say, like tomorrow, if we find out that actually farming humans is better for the environment, it kills less being in total. Do you think we should farm humans? But then what is the difference between a human
Yes.
being and a cow that says one deserves to die and one doesn't?
See, for me, I am on that level with you.
Yeah.
It's like we don't even have to argue on things we
Yeah.
agree. I don't think this bird, right, flying right over there.
Yeah.
I don't think his life is worth more than mine.
Exactly.
Neither the pig.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is, if you are protecting, you should protect all.
Yeah.
Not one and leave the other.
But do you know what the nirvana fallacy is?
You have to tell me that.
So the nirvana fallacy says basically you're not going to do something because it's either all or nothing.
No. I'm saying that's not where I am. I'm saying we should do something.
Yeah.
I'm already doing something. I don't need to get into it with you. But my point is, you shouldn't leave the cow. You shouldn't protect the cow and forget the one down.
No. I completely agree, right?
This to me.
So let's just put it this way.
I'm not saying because we should do that, we should just stop it. No.
No, let's just put it this way. If everybody on Earth would be vegan, I would be sitting here talking about crop tests with you.
They'll be,
Right? That's what I do. But the first thing we have to, you have to solve issues one by one. It would be ridiculous for me to stay here and tell you, do you know that in the production of soy and corn, so many critters are being killed? What would you do? Not eat soy or corn? No, because you would say, oh, I eat meat, but the animals are fed soy and corn, right?
Yeah.
So I first have to treat this issue, right? So that's why I sit here trying to tell people about it. And
see, when you tell them about the cows, tell them also about the ones down there, because the ones whose ecosystem are destroyed in the Amazon, are, in my eyes, in my opinion, equally as important as the cows.
And those are mostly for the cows. Like the Amazon is mostly deforested for beef,
For the
right?
cow,
So
yeah.
Cows, pigs, all of it.
All of them.
Yeah.
And even corn-fed animals are not even the best ones. Grass-fed are the ones better. What you can not also include in your line of questions is, for example, would you like to buy locally or you would like to buy? So, for example, my stepmother, they try to buy even the eggs from farmers. She can see with her own eyes that the chicken has some ability to move outside. Now, of course, a little bit more expensive than going to the supermarket.
But that already destroys your argument, right? Because if more critters die for that egg, then it's already destroying your argument.
See, you cannot tell this bird not to eat outside also.
Yeah.
See the point?
Yeah, but those
then
birds
you
are wild. I didn't bring that bird to life to eat them or their secretions. Whereas a bird,
a
chicken
outside,
yeah.
they get to they have more freedom of movement than you compare to the cows who are just there.
But just now you said you agree with me that we shouldn't commodify animals, and just now you gave an example of how you commodify animals.
Which one did I commodify?
You said you take eggs from chickens.
Yes.
So you grow the chickens to give you sustenance.
No, but see those ones, they're able to live a much better life than the ones.
I'm not saying, but it's still you can live a very nice life commodified, right? If you think about it this way.
What about the worst one, which is also commodified?
But think about it this way: in U.S., right? At some point there was slavery. What if people said, instead of abolishing slavery, we just give them excellent conditions. We put them up in hotels. We give them everything they need.
We live in right now. If you live in a capitalist state, some level of your labor is slavery. But this is going into another topic. I don't want to.
Yeah, this is another topic. Yeah, it's not the same thing.
It is the same.
It's not the same thing.
I recently watched a video which explains it is the same thing. Truly.
There's a difference between.
If you live somewhere, what do you pay?
Say it again.
If you live somewhere, what do you pay?
Why do I pay if I live somewhere?
Where do you live?
In Amsterdam.
What do you pay for your apartment?
I don't know, mortgage?
You own your house?
I know, the bank owns it, obviously, it's a mortgage.
Yeah, so, okay, that's different. Let's take someone who rents.
Okay, let's say I would pay rent, yeah.
Yeah, what are they paying?
Rent?
To who?
I don't know, the landlord?
Yes, that's feudalism.
Yeah, but he's free to choose another place.
Yes.
Slavers weren't choose to pick another place. They couldn't say, I'm going to go from this farm to this farm because this other farm.
You should check it out, they're cool. They change their farmers all the time.
But the farmer decides, not the slave.
They change their plantation masters all the time.
That's not true, right?
It's true.
So you think during slavery that people would go from one state to another?
Yeah, they did. I have research into this.
Okay, so then let's bring it back to animals, and let's say bring it back to the chickens, right?
Yeah.
If those chickens decide to go to your neighbor, would you be okay?
I mean, what does it change?
They can change. You say,
yeah, but what would it change if they come to me or there? It's the same conditions.
Yeah, but they want to go to their neighbors. to your
doesn't
neighbor.
change anything.
It doesn't change. So you're not commodified. So if they give eggs to your neighbor, you're okay with it.
But you mentioned in your argument earlier
Yeah.
that regardless of whatever we do, there will be some level of destruction.
Yeah.
Regardless of whatever we do, there will be some level of commodification.
Well, no, there's a difference between intentionally bringing an animal to life to suit your needs
So,
and then
For
versus.
example, those birds walking there, right?
Yeah.
And then bring them there. But if I get a chance to have them on my plate, will I eat it? The answer would be
Did you bring those birds to life
Yes,
for
no,
the sole purpose
no,
of bringing them to your plate?
no. But
Okay, so there's a difference. So they're not commodified.
yes, but in the end, they also suffer. Maybe that wasn't their lifespan.
Yeah.
You mentioned that a cattle can live for 20 years.
Yeah.
If I can grab this one and eat it for lunch, maybe it is halved by its years.
Yeah. So you don't think commodification matters?
Isn't only when you're a vegan, then your food is also commodified.
For
My
example,
food is commodified. What
your
kind of sentient
avocado.
beings are commodified?
So your vegetables, your
But vegetables are not sentient.
But what does it matter?
Because sentience means you have the capability of subjective experience. It means
Oh,
you are
come
capable.
on.
You don't know what subjective experience is?
That's not the point.
That is the point.
think-
That's sentience.
I think it doesn't. Sentient doesn't matter in this case. I give you an example.
Okay, so you think it's the same of cutting a tomato versus killing a dog is the same?
I give you an example. If you eat radishes, no?
Radishes, yeah.
Yes. Most of these are harvested in Europe by migrant workers whose conditions are equal to slavery that you mentioned.
Okay.
What is that?
What can I tell you? Does that commodify animals? Does that commodify the
Your
people?
radish was a commodity. You bought it in the supermarket.
Yeah.
Under somebody's back slavery.
Yeah, but it's a thing. An animal is not a thing. The radish is a thing. An apple is a thing.
It doesn't
It's-
change anything.
that's not true.
Yes.
Out of a biological view,
Yeah.
I have to say that are also living creatures.
Living things.
Yeah, but they're not sentient. There's a
doesn't
difference.
matter.
It
It
does
doesn't-
matter
see-
because one says one has a will, one doesn't. A tomato doesn't have a will to live. A cow has a will to live.
Yeah,
How
but
did you know that?
How do I know? Because if you go to a knife to a cow, it's going to run the fuck away.
Yes, but a plant can't do that. But they are also communicating. They
Yeah.
have sense. They
Yes.
So why do you think they can't do that? If after millions of years of evolution, why do you think they
then I
can't
have,
do that?
if you're saying that, then I have the right, literally, to do anything I want to do, especially eating cows.
Not to sentient beings. That's my point. You draw the line at sentience.
Nah, I wouldn't. I think you made very good arguments, but to me, you have destroyed everything with the sentient argument, in the sense that it wasn't my fault. If I'm a Rhodesian, it wasn't my fault that I cannot run away from a knife when it's being put to my head.
Do you think a radish thinks?
Can
They
you-
don't have a brain. They don't have a central nervous system.
Finish my point.
Yeah, go on.
If I'm a Rhodesian, it is not my fault that I cannot run away from the knife, right? It is also nature's way. If you look at it, it is not the cow's fault that by the way the universe made itself, that they have to suffer because I want some fat or something on my plate. It's not their fault. If they could run away. There are so many creatures who have moved far away from humans because of our behavior. They couldn't do that. So if I say my Rhodesian is a far better option, and especially with me clearly ignoring the fact that some of them are even harvested by labor, which is almost equal to slavery, just because the Rhodesian cannot breathe, is really to me a very weak argument.
Interrupting Chip here. Why would he assume that the workers that pick radishes have conditions equal to slavery and the slaughterhouse workers not? In fact, a lot of slaughterhouse workers end up having mental issues for long after they no longer work there. And to not make this too long, I agree that the conditions of workers from fields can be improved and should definitely be something to be looked at. But it's a completely separate issue to the fact that animals are enslaved, abused, and slaughtered unnecessarily.
Listen, you don't have to, like, I draw the line at sentience because if
Yeah,
I
but
were,
I
the reason
reject
why
that
I draw the line, you can reject that line and veganism still makes sense. You know why? Because there's more plants being killed in the production of meat anyway, right? So even if you reject that line, you still would save more lives if that's what matters to you.
I think it's in the end, it's to me just.
And plus, a radish is not like like you say, you're a biologist, right? What's the purpose of an apple, for example? It's so that another animal eats it, poops it out, and then another tree can grow from those seeds, right? It's not the apple's purpose. Is not the reason why an apple is sweet and appealing is because it wants to be eaten by other creatures. That's the whole purpose of it. A lot of fruits are that way.
But animal is exactly the same.
Yes.
They are
Do
made
you
for
think
being.
The
Can-
cat is
Do you think a cow is intentionally made to? It's made by us, but not by nature.
the pig is fat because I want my
So you think the internal organs of a pig and the muscular
What I want to say
composition of a pig is
animals on Earth are like food for some other animals. So
Yes.
this is the circle of life.
yeah, but that doesn't mean we get to choose what to kill because with that justification we can kill
This is
anybody,
not what I'm
right?
saying.
Yeah.
But it also belongs to circle of life. I'm not against vegan. It's a good thing or good way to live.
Yeah.
So if you want to protect nature, protect animals, nothing against vegan. But if you talk about nature, you have always a cycle of nature. There's always
So
circle of
always
life.
somebody gets eaten by someone.
Yes.
I talk about sentience. That's what I talk about.
What
Again,
is the antelope who was captured by the lion to eating?
can I talk to a lion and tell them not to kill the antelope?
Yeah, but
But
Can I?
without antelope, the lion doesn't survive.
Can I tell the lion to not eat the antelope? Can I tell the lion that there's alternatives? Does the lion have alternatives? We do. We have alternatives. That's why I'm saying let's not kill animals intentionally because we have alternatives.
It's to me such a weak argument.
But what is a strong argument to you? Because it seems like
I've given you many of them.
you keep saying that just the number matters to you. Are you a utilitarian?
And I have realized that most of the points I gave, you didn't even listen to them because you wanted to communicate yours ahead. But to me, that is not the right way to go. It should be a
Tell
discussion.
me one point that I haven't listened to.
Well, you said I never gave you any reasons why.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I gave
You say
many of them.
the only reason you said so. You said, and I have it on video, right? You said that if you find out that less animals are killed
I
for
would consider,
production, you didn't say you'll consider. You said you'll be vegan, not consider.
No, I didn't say that. No, I'll be convinced to.
Then you would be convinced to be vegan.
I'll be convinced to. I said, what was the thing I said? I said it was it would be
You know?
probably a probable option, something of that sort. Not necessarily yes.
Okay, so then let's just. I ask you again, assuming that there are less deaths, what is keeping you from being vegan?
I said I'll probably consider it.
But what is why? If you say you'll probably
said,
consider it, that means something is telling you not.
To me, the life of the animal down where on the earth in the
Okay,
Amazon is
and again,
supposed
there's
to-
less numbers.
Yeah,
There's-
less numbers doesn't mean it's zero, my friend.
So you say, oh, I would rather kill 1,000 animals instead of 100 animals because there's any way it cannot be zero.
Like I told
That's
you,
what you're saying.
because you haven't calculated, for example, the value.
But I told you there's 8 billion animals killed in crop production.
I said you haven't calculated the value of those ones in the Amazon down there. Their value to the earth. You haven't
There's a
calculated.
calculation, as I said, it's around 8 billion, and there's 80 billion animals. It's 10 times more animals are being killed for food production.
Their value to the earth.
So then you should be vegan if you value that, because less of them would be killed. I keep telling you this.
Yeah, less of them will be killed, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying it's not zero.
Yeah.
not-
So then,
It is,
so
it
wait.
is like
By that logic, you should kill more people, right? I should just go right here and kill as many animals as I can
like-
because it
it's
doesn't
like-
matter.
it's like
No,
mo- it's
it
like-
will never be zero.
like most of the things we use for climate protection, for example, we think windmills are a better option. Nobody really knows that to produce a windmill, you need crude oil to do that.
I know that,
In the end,
but
we are going back to the source.
you're talking about nirvana fallacy again. You see, you're committing the fallacy.
I'm not committing any fallacy. I'm not saying that because we cannot do anything, we should leave it at all. No,
But that's what you just said.
I didn't say that.
You said you said I asked you if you're going to be vegan if you find out that the number is lower, and you said no because
probably
it's
not.
there still will be some creatures, right?
Yeah,
So
but-
you don't care about reducing the number of creatures. You don't, right? You just prove me that you don't care because if I told you that there's less creatures killed in the land for vegan food, then you would say, okay, then I'll choose vegan food because I care so much about the number of life, the number of creatures. But you don't care about that.
To me, it's not a good argument. It's not.
Well, none of the arguments don't seem to be good enough for
Yeah,
you.
but-
So then why? What is keeping you from being vegan?
Because your argument it's my own choice. I decide that, but I'm just saying your arguments you are giving me as to what this and this numbers to me is not a good. It's not a good argument, and it all comes back down to the thing I started with. The life of a cow is not better than the life of some worm down there, and the fact that you kill 10 cows doesn't mean that if you kill 2 worms, it's a better option.
So you would rather kill 10 cows than 2 worms?
I'm saying that we should probably even look for much better options than killing less.
Okay, so if you were given the option to kill 10 cows or 2 worms, you'll say, I won't make this choice because anyway something will die. If you don't make this choice, both of them
What
die.
about if we look for the better option? If I have that choice and I said, okay, I don't take that choice.
How are you looking for a better option? If you consume meat, you're not looking for a better option, are you? What is the better option you're looking
to
for?
arrive at something. See, we have 2 choices. Think of it. We have 2 choices. One is being vegan, which saves less animals,
Yeah,
and then
which saves more animals.
and then not being vegan. And I'm saying, what about if we even look for a much better alternative than these 2, and you are not even open to that?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you are.
So you say there's an alternative in the middle where you can kill a cow and spare a lot of
I didn't
lives.
say that. I say I don't even know what the alternative is, but we have to look for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to look for it?
Why wouldn't I?
Okay, so meanwhile, while you look for it, are you going to choose the alternative that is definite with the less number of animals?
You want to capture me on video or something saying, okay, then I'll be vegan for whatever reasons you want to. But that's what I'm saying.
I may not even post this video. It's too long already.
This is. I hope you don't, because this is what I'm using with the argument about electric windmills and solar panels for. We think that if we use clean energy, it is better for the environment. But whilst
I understand your analogy.
whilst we are there, now we have realized scientifically it's not a good option. So we should even look for better alternatives. Not to say, okay, then we just use.
Okay, but meanwhile,
Yes.
what should we do meanwhile?
Look for
Meanwhile, should we use
alternatives,
coal?
my
But
friend.
meanwhile, should we use coal? You need energy. Meanwhile, should we use coal?
See, even that, it will burn somewhere else.
Meanwhile, should we use coal?
Germany, where I come from, they have decided to stop the use of coal as well as nuclear.
Meanwhile, should we use coal? Why are you dodging my question?
dodging it.
You're dodging my question.
Germany
said
stopped using coal and nuclear, right?
Yeah.
But know what they do instead? They went to buy energy from France, which doesn't solve the problem at all, because the nuclear they are stopped using, France is using nuclear to produce.
so. You need energy to survive. What are you gonna do going
What
forward?
I'm saying is that trying to say one option is a better option than the other, and to stop producing nuclear in Germany but to buy nuclear from France is not a better alternative.
Okay.
So whether I know the solution to it or not, it's not the same. I'm saying that canceling A here to take A
I understand what you mean.
Yes, the
but-
alternative I don't know. That's
Okay,
why I say we
so
should look
you're
for it.
saying,
That's why we say we should
okay,
look for it.
okay, but while you look for it, you need energy. What are you gonna use while energy? You need calories is a form of energy.
If we-
What are you gonna
for
eat
example,
while you look
in
for
the
it?
German case, we continue to use nuclear. Version.
While you look for the best option that's not
Nuclear
vegan and not non-vegan, what are you gonna eat?
It can be vegetarian. That's the middle.
Yeah, but then you say you've commercialized eggs
Yes, I know.
or commodify eggs or whatever.
So what are you gonna eat meanwhile?
What will I eat? Steak.
Yeah. So you see, you don't care. Because if you cared, you would choose the option that reduces the number of surely reduces the number of deaths until you find the perfect option. But meanwhile, there's one option that reduces the number of deaths, one that says more deaths, and you choose the one that
you have even asked me why did I choose that, and other than to conclude for me,
Okay, why did you choose
it's
that?
a much better option than what you said before. Don't you think so?
Because it kills more animals.
No, I chose steak because I care equally for the cow just like I care for the animal down there on the earth.
So then you should choose not the steak. Why are you not understanding that more animals will die? More animals that you say you care about in the land will die for the steak?
It still doesn't mean anything to me.
So nirvana fallacy. Do I need to point it out
Like
again?
I said, I'm not committing that fallacy. It is your.
You are committing the fallacy.
I'm not.
You're saying just because it's not perfect, we're not going to take it. That's what you're saying, right?
Maybe.
You really don't see this?
No, I don't. Because to me, you haven't made any solid arguments why I should be vegan. Maybe I haven't given any good reasons why I should eat cow also. But in the end, I think we didn't really achieve much today.
But you see what I mean? Like, okay, you can look into it, and you promised me you're going to look into it, right? So you're going to look into it. But meanwhile,
maybe if I look into it, maybe I change my mind.
Meanwhile, you say you're aware that more land is used to produce meat. You are aware of this, right?
It's not just land.
But more land is used to produce meat. More
that's
land,
also-
more water, and more
Yes,
pollution,
more-
right?
more land,
So
more
given that
water,
more land is
more
used,
ecosystems
you
are
just use a
destroyed.
simple logic of saying if there's a certain number of critters per land, if we use more land, there will obviously be more critters being killed. So therefore, I should avoid it until I find out what the actual numbers is, right? So then you should avoid eating meat until you find out whether meat is the correct choice to reduce the number of deaths. Regardless, you see what I mean? You don't have to go vegan, but you still should until you decide which
Well-
one is
well,
better.
for-
You should still
for
be
example-
vegan until then.
We can have a what's the thing meaningful and, let's say, reduced portion of meat consumption. At least that also reduces.
Why? Why? All of a sudden, you said it doesn't matter, right? All of a sudden, you say reducing matters.
That also seems like a better alternative. You reduce the numbers.
Oh, but
Doesn't-
you said that still this still kills
Yeah, but
animals.
doesn't-
What's with the Nirvana
doesn't
fallacy?
doesn't that reduce the numbers?
Well, it reduces it slightly, but it doesn't
Yeah.
reduce it all the way you could possibly
Yeah,
reduce,
but
right?
Yours doesn't. It reduces either.
It reduces all the way I can possibly
Yeah.
reduce. I cannot go on the fields and tell the farmers how to farm, right? All I can do is
but-
make the
but-
choices myself.
But it's the same with the radicchio we had. You know, you cannot go to Italy and tell them not to use.
Do you think there's any way of having a steak without killing the cow?
I mean, what kind of question is that?
Scientifically, yes.
I mean, you can grow lab meat,
Yeah,
right?
yes, lab meat.
Yeah.
Like, aside from lab meat, because obviously that's not the case, right? Okay, I don't mind you having, like, I'm not here to tell people what to eat. I'm here to tell people not to exploit animals, you know? That's what I'm about the animals here,
I
right?
want to open minds. That's okay.
Yeah,
Let's say that.
that's all it is, right? I want
Yes.
the animal exploitation to stop. I don't care about, I obviously care about the critters also.
I think you should.
That's why I'm
If you care
vegan
about the
also.
cricket also, then I think I have made my point. Then you also have made me a good point, and that I should also look into thinking of not eating maybe too much meat or even going vegan. But since you care for the cows just like you care for the crickets, I think that
Obviously I care, there's life, right?
That's very good.
I would also not harm a plant for no reason, even if I don't believe they're not sentient, right? So even that way, I wouldn't harm them. But
Yeah, the sentient argument is not a good one.
well, let me just with the sentient argument. Let's just pose this way: if there's a hypothetical, there's a burning building, and you could save a dog or a plant, which one would you save?
Both.
No, you can only save one. Obviously, everybody says both, but I say it's a hypothetical where you can only save one. Which one would you save?
Of course, you would go for the dog, but the thing is,
Why?
Waha, because they're pets, and pets are like family.
A dog that's not a pet.
Oh yes, it is.
Let's say that this dog is not a pet. There's several
but
dogs that
dogs
are
are
not pets.
Always
domestic
Okay,
pets
it's a
type
pig.
of-
Open the gate.
You're moving the goalpost. It's a
You are
pig.
moving the goalpost.
It's a pig. I'll give you that hypothetical. I'll pose another hypothetical where it's a pig versus a plant. Obviously, you would save the pig, right?
Of course, but
But why, right? Ask
The pig
yourself
is a
why.
living thing.
So is a plant.
So it's a plan, yeah. That's why I haven't said anything, because to me, it doesn't really matter.
But that's the difference. It's sentience. That's why we can relate to animals and not to plants.
Who am I? No.
Anyway, okay, look into it. I think this conversation has been long enough.
Yeah.
Look into it if you care.
But before I go,
Yeah.
you made very good arguments. However, you should be a little bit more open to other possibilities as well. So, for example, the thing with the radician, I think
Yeah.
it's a very good argument that she made, and I think you didn't really come back good with it.
With the radishes.
Yeah, whether it's a sentient or not, so long as it comes to your plate with somebody's labor, slave labor, I think it's something you should look into it also.
Do you care if I kill a virus?
I don't. That's not the point.
A
See,
virus is not a living
you're trying.
creature.
You're trying.
Do
to
you
move-
care if I kill a
you're
bacteria?
trying to move the goalpost again.
Do you care if I kill a
They
bacteria?
can kill you.
Let's just say there's a bacteria that I can destroy. Do you care?
You're trying to move the goalpost.
But no, because I care. You can't kill a bacteria, right?
Not really. So let's say you're doing it all the day, because if you go showering, you'll kill the bacteria out on your skin.
So do you care if I kill a bacteria? So I can't kill a bacteria, as you said, if I shower. So do you care if I kill a bacteria?
Of course, obviously, nobody does.
Okay, so
Because nobody is aware that bacteria are on you, in you, everywhere.
especially on your face.
okay. Okay, so the point is, my point is exactly this: plants are just like extremely intelligent life that's made of. They're like what do you call them? Automatrons. They're nothing more. They move towards the light. They move towards stimuli. They do this. They don't have a will. They don't behave as if they have a will. And if at some point they do have a will, of course, all of it will change, and all of our perception will change. And I may be sitting here telling you to eat fucking rubber, right? I don't know, but I don't know, or something. But the reason why I'm saying why I'm saying this is because, as far as we know, plants are not sentient, and sentience matters. That means you have a central nervous system. That means you feel pain. That means you experience the world around you.
That's the point.
Plants don't feel pain. There's not the scientific consensus that plants feel pain.
There is.
You mean the study where they scream?
Like, yeah, they make noises if somebody
Yeah.
cuts them, and they have sons. They go out for others.
Yeah.
To send. Oh,
That's
here,
just a
they can
biological
hate you.
response, though. If you read that study that says
It's
that,
screaming not a biological response. If you stick a knife in me, I'll scream.
yeah, but you will run away, right?
I'll still
If I
scream.
can.
There are,
Yeah.
there are people who freeze in this situation that they cannot even run away. The thing is, so long as you have even, I'm even trying for you to be a bit open-minded that a radiation coming to your plate under somebody's slave labor and you go to bacteria, to me, it's a close-minded approach.
What's the difference between a
this
bacteria and the radish and the radish and an animal?
Because
I think
so
they're
long
kind
as
of the
you have,
middle,
you have
right?
not even considered that to say, oh, maybe I should. Yeah, it's such a close-minded approach.
It's okay. You can call me close-minded. I don't mind. You know,
I'm
I've
not
been
calling
called
you
worse.
close-minded. I'm saying your approach is close-minded. I added the approach at the end.
Yeah. So I don't mind. You know, because I know
And it's the
why
same way somebody
sentience
saying, I don't
matters.
mind for my steak. Then you see.
But I know why sentience matters. You keep saying that it doesn't matter, but sentience matters.
So
If I ask you what's important to you in life, what would you say?
Let's say modern slavery also doesn't matter. If
What
if
what
you
is
don't care about how the radiation gets to your plate,
if I ask you what's important to
I
you
don't
in
want to move
life?
the goalpost anymore. So
Freedom.
Freedom.
Yes.
There you go. Freedom.
shall we?
Okay. Thanks, you.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Okay. And stay vegan. It's a
Yeah, of course, of course. I don't believe animals should be commodified.